I also want to give God the glory, the honor, the praise, because sometimes we can be sick, we can have family members that are sick, but we can pray and pray and pray, and sometimes we think that God is not working in the midst. And he's working in the midst because my son Justin right there, his testimony of what God is doing in his life. And I just felt I had to say this because I've prayed for so many years, okay? Things don't happen like that sometimes. God wants us to continue to trust him, to fully surrender to him. And as far as parents and children, it doesn't matter if your kids are small or older, adults, grandchildren, doesn't matter. If we trust the Lord with our kids and we surrender them to the Lord, no matter what we see is happening, God will take care of them because I've seen it happen. And if we just trust him and believe every day, surrender your kids to the Lord, adults, children, grandchildren, doesn't matter. God will work in the midst. And I just believe that. And I thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
And that's it.
And with the women's group, before the pandemic actually happened, it was something that we were reading, and it said, do nothing and be still. Because I was always doing something, but the problem was always in my face. So I decided to do nothing and be still, and help was there. And so my prayers being answered, and I just sat still and let God do his work because I was being in his way. And that helped me. And I just want to say thank you all for being an ear, because I can be a chatterbox.
Nothing worked, everything is work. She said, Martha, I'm going to help you. But she said that Sunday, and after that, we never talk again about the problem. But I keep praying in the group, and she keep praying for me too. She coming to church, and she give me a little piece of paper like this, with some phone, with some names, and in the bottom say, Martha, call. I want to know that you called. The next Monday, I called the number, and the man say, I'm so full right now, my agenda is full. I say, please, I need help. He said, you know what? Come tomorrow, and let's see what we can do. We went there maybe like 6 o'clock in the morning, because I want to be there first. He cannot see me that day. He said, come Wednesday. We go on Wednesday. And he told me the case is not impossible, but it's hard. But because Susan sent you, I'm going to help you. You never know who person can help you, and the cries of the members. Not in the street, with your members of the cries, with your sister, with your brother. It's for that we say we are unison, we are one, because we feel the same pain, and we feel the same happiness. So please don't be hesitating. And when you need something, go to the person that your heart told you. Your heart say, because God put that seed in your heart. Go to somebody, trusting in that person. Sometimes as a sister and brother, we have to communicate with others. Don't be chained. That's no matter what kind of problem you have, what kind of situation you have. Going to somebody, even when you're thinking that that person cannot help you, because you don't know who is that person. Maybe you see that person so humble. Maybe you see that person and say, she cannot have relation with nobody. She cannot have, business with nobody. She don't look like it. She can have those connections with lawyers, with judge. You never know. So please, I can give that testimony today that Susan was an angel in our life. And if you have thankful for God, you have to be thankful for the people that God used you to help you. And God used her to help me and my son. And that's my testimony today, to encourage everybody here. If you have something, that's no matter what is, family situation, yourself situation, marriage situation. If I give my testimony of life, I will not end it. Because so many things happen in my life through Jesus.
It feels good to have the opportunity to be able to share with other brothers and sisters in the Lord. And I miss that. I forgot how I felt, to be able to serve, to be able to be around other people that are like-minded. Pastor, Becky, they've been very kind to us. And I truly believe that we all play a role, we all make a difference. Sometimes, you might think otherwise, but it's the little things that people do. And sometimes you don't even know it. Because God uses you and you don't even know it. And to be able to be an instrument in God's hands. And just be willing to say, God, use me however you see fit. And I think that's one of the things that's been a blessing to us, because we open ourselves up. And sometimes you become afraid of doing that because you don't want to expose yourself. But I think you have to be an open book. Because if a brother and sister is going to accept you, they're going to accept you the way you are. It doesn't mean that we're going to tolerate your sin, but it means that we're going to pray for you. We're going to be a friend to you, and we're going to help you along the way. Because none of us are perfect. And I think that's a blessing. I agree with what Martha said, that you have to open yourself up. You have problems or other situations that you're going through. You got to open yourself up and not be afraid that somebody's going to criticize you or somebody's going to say something bad about you. That's not what we're here for. We're here to serve God, to worship God, but we have to help each other out. And I love that. I really love that. It's making a difference in our lives. We've been praying for my son. The church has been praying for my son. My son is coming back. He's back at church. His mindset is changing. It's not completely there, but he's changing. He has a willingness to move forward in the Lord, and I'm very happy and encouraged for that. And plus the opportunities that I have to serve. I don't take it for granted. I don't take that lightly. I see it as a blessing. And the greatest thing is that since I started doing that, I've had opportunities to meet and really know people that are here, which is really great because we need each other. Being able to talk, being able to spend time together, that makes a big difference in our lives. Because the reality is that you're not going to get that outside. You're not going to get that from the world. We're going to get that here, amongst each other. So I'm very grateful for that. I thank the pastor, Becky especially, because they have an open heart. They're not, you can walk through the door, nobody's criticizing. You just come, and listen to the word, worship, and let God do the rest. I think that's what I feel here. That's what I feel is going on here. And I'm thankful to God. And I'm thankful for you guys for receiving us, and helping us out.
I just wanted to say that 2020 was definitely a difficult year. We definitely experienced a lot of trials and tribulations, but we've had so many blessings.
Amen.
And one of the first things is just the fact that my wife and I, we both work for transit, so we were able to maintain our jobs throughout COVID. So that was one of the first and biggest blessings, right? And we actually both self-quarantined, but we never got really sick, and it's been difficult, we had daycare issues, and we have 2 shining babies. That's a job in of itself, but God has kept us. One of the biggest things I think about is that my nephew, Nicholas, that we all know and love, he was formally adopted. He formally became our our son
Amen.
in 2020.
Amen.
Praying at home is great. But you need to be sometimes, especially during this time, surrounded by people that want to share and are feeling what you're feeling. My testimony is more of being grateful and thankful that I'm able to come here.
Yes.
I feel safe in more than one way.
Yes.
I can roll out of bed and fall in my apartment, and you're all welcome. I'm at 768, apartment 143, literally.
Right
I
about.
can bang on the radiator again.
That's right.
But the feeling I've received, the joy in my heart. Pastor, you're special. But your family is special. I've come to the Sunday service and the children, I leave here elated, lifted with hope and joy for tomorrow. Sometimes at night when I'm exhausted, it's very difficult when the pain kicks in. I'm 69. Something's got to hurt. So the anguish of, do I really want to see tomorrow? And then I think, tomorrow's Sunday. I get to see the kids. I get to be with my other family, because God knows I can't be with my real family. So, and most of our family lives in Puerto Rico, by the way. I have a couple of cousins here in New York, but we're really scattered. So, it brings me to life.
I think with being at home, I think the Lord worked with our family just to say, okay guys, be patient. Like you said, just to be still. And I think I'm just grateful that I found such a wonderful church family, because I have a large blood family, but there's just sometimes you can't talk to them about certain things, especially our faith is different than theirs and what I grew up with. Because I grew up in a primarily Hindu family. So a lot of times when I talk about faith and God and Christ, I feel like different. And when I come here, I can talk about certain things that I'm going through, and I'm not looked at like you're different. So I want to thank Pastor and my brothers and sisters for that. And just hoping for a better year ahead.
That was so, he must have really hurt my heart. He really must have hurt me. Because the next thing I know, Jordan moved right next to me. No, I'm serious. I kid you not, I mean this with all my heart. God knows that I mean this. That's why I always say God has a sense of humor. Because God brought me a pastor right next to me. Because at that time I was backsliding. I was. And I thank God for that. Because you guys, you are my friend. You are my family. You are my family.
And I'm just going to share a little song that has encouraged me throughout this year. This year has been quite challenging, to say the least, for myself, my family, and most others. But anyway, this little verse of song, is not a whole song, has really taken me through. And it just says, you are worthy of it all.
All right. Okay.
You are worthy of it all. From you are all things, and through you are all things. You deserve the glory. Yes. Day and night, night and day, new incense arise. You are worthy of it all. I thank you, my Lord.
Amen.
Like, I just started going through a lot of spiritual attacks, and my body was affected. There was a lot that was going on, and it felt like every time something got better, something else got worse. And so for me, this year when everything happened, it was almost like, well, what else is new? I ended up getting furloughed from work and eventually laid off because of everything. But one of the things I did last year was I had started a prayer journal, something I had never done before. And I was just like, I'll always remember what I prayed for anyway. And despite everything that was going on, and the fear and the worries of, how long is unemployment gonna last? My husband got furloughed for a few weeks as well, and there was just a lot going on. And so during that time, the Lord actually started to answer a lot of prayers that I had been praying, even before last year. But last year is when I really started to write them down and really just take the time to really make sure and petition them. And so the Lord really started to work on my marriage, to the point where it's it was almost like it seemed like we were getting worse, and then it was like God just came in an instant and changed things around in a 360 in one day.
Amen.
And it was just it was almost like we couldn't believe what we were witnessing between the two of us in our relationship. And then then to end up, I had been praying for a while that I wanted to be able to have the opportunity to stay home with my son, whether it was to work from home or just be a stay-at-home mom. And it was just something burning in my heart. And I had been applying for jobs because I knew I worked in the hotel industry. I knew I wasn't going back to work. And in July, the Lord had started to work in my heart to stop looking and to start looking more for a curriculum to homeschool my son. I wasn't looking forward to homeschooling, but the Lord really started to it was almost week after week, my heart started to soften to the thought of homeschooling, and I started to get excited about it. And it was just the Lord has actually made a way for us. We've been able to survive, with my husband just being the only one working, and he's provided in so many ways, to the point that we had a friend that literally financially provided money that the Lord put in their heart to give to us, and that provided for the curriculum and everything I needed to do for my son. And that was just, they were a beautiful couple, and we've been only friends with them for about 3 years, and they were just don't, here's a card, do not give this back to us, the Lord put this on our heart. And so there's little things where the Lord has shown his provision and shown this is the path that he's setting out for us. And despite everything that's gone on, despite even knowing people and being affected by people who have been sick this year, we've still been able to see God's provision in a lot of different ways, and him answering prayers that I have been praying, a year and a half ago, and seeing them come to fruition now. So I'm thankful and grateful for that this season.
In early May, one thing, I am an asthmatic, so early May, I had caught COVID, right? So at first I didn't know I had it until they started saying if you have a sore throat. So I had that. So I went to to go get checked, and then I found out I was positive. So I just prayed on it because I was not going to no hospital. Because it seemed like going to the hospital, everybody was just not coming home at all. So I was like, no, I'm not going to no hospital. So thank God it didn't mess with my asthma. It was just a sore throat. And me being stuck in my room, it was kind of depressing. Just being in the room by myself. And one thing I say, my daughter, she did not care. She would sneak in the room and just said, "Daddy, you'll be okay." And she was just awesome about it. So that gave me more strength to, to pull through. And it was pretty awesome about that. And then, just recently, October, then another thing came through when I went blind in my left eye. So that was kind of pretty bad. It was kind of hard on me, but my family, they supported me, and we would get through. We prayed, worship, and me hearing all the stories about people going blind took like 3 months. Everybody took 3 months, you know. But then God, you know, it only took about a month a month and a half for my sight to come back.
Amen.
So, you know, I gave glory to God for that, you know. And I just keep praying and worship and knowing that God got us. You know, no matter what we go through, He's going to protect us. He's going to guide us, as long as we, you know, give ourselves to Him. You know, so thank you, and God bless.
This church that we did pray for because we wanted to feel like a family. I want to know that people can call us, we can call them, you know, so we exchange phone numbers. That's what makes family, you know. You know, we never knew each other. How many years we know each other now? How old is Moses?
Huh?
Before Christmas.
Before. So this is my new family for 4 years now. People we never knew before. And you know how I love you guys so much. And we're there for each other. And that's the love for God. Help me, Jesus. Yeah, I just love you guys so